It was supposed to be a celebration. 100 years of history, entertainment and hospitality. 100 years of MGM Resorts, one of the world's largest and most iconic hotel and casino operators. But on Sunday, September 10th, 2023, the dream turned into a nightmare. A group of hackers, calling themselves Scattered Spider, launched a devastating cyber attack on the company's IT systems, encrypting or deleting data, disrupting operations, and causing chaos across their vast properties. The event affected millions of customers and employees who faced long queues, manual check-ins, cash-only payments, malfunctioning machines, and locked rooms. Some even feared for their safety and security, as they were left in the dark about what was happening. Who were these hackers? What did they want? How did they manage to breach the defenses? And what were the consequences for the company and its stakeholders? Beginning around 9:30 in the morning, the hackers targeted the IT help desk in Las Vegas, Nevada. They used social engineering techniques, such as impersonating an employee and making a phone call, to trick the help desk staff into giving them access to the internal networks and systems. Once they gained access, they unleashed a wave of destruction. They encrypted or deleted information from various servers and databases, rendering them inaccessible or unusable. They also disabled or corrupted some of the entries that controlled the operations, such as corporate email, restaurant reservation, hotel booking, digital room keys, slot machines, ATMs, and electronic payment systems. They left behind a ransom note on some of the affected computers, claiming to be a group called Scattered Spider, which is allegedly a subgroup of the ALPHV ransomware gang. Having not been detected until around 11:30 a.m., when some of the crew and customers started to notice problems and anomalies. By then, it was too late to stop or contain the unfolding events. The hackers had already compromised most of the network. The security staff tried to isolate and restore the affected areas, but they faced many challenges and difficulties. They had to deal with a large and complex web that spanned across multiple locations and countries. They also had to cope with a lack of backups, outdated software, and weak security measures. The attack lasted for several days, causing widespread disruption and chaos across the operations. The company had to resort to manual or alternative methods to run its operations and serve its paying attendees. However, these methods were slow, inefficient, and unreliable. Many customers and employees were frustrated and angry over the situation. Some even decided to cancel their reservations or leave the locations altogether. The hackers threatened to leak some of the stolen data if MGM did not pay a ransom of $50 million in Bitcoin. However, they did not specify a deadline or provide any proof of their claim. They also communicated with TechCrunch, a technology news website, via email, claiming to be a Western hacking group that had a moral code and did not target hospitals, schools, or governments. They said they targeted corrupt and greedy organizations, which they accused of exploiting workers and the vulnerable public, saying they wanted to expose the obvious security flaws and vulnerabilities as a way of warning other organizations or customers about the risks of doing business with them. The hackers did not reveal their exact motive or goal for the attack. However, some experts speculated that they wanted to disrupt the resort's business during one of its busiest seasons, as Las Vegas was hosting several major events such as concerts, sports matches, and conventions. Some also speculated that they wanted to embarrass and damage its reputation, as they were celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. CEO Bill Hornbuckle finally issued a statement on Monday, September 11th, apologizing to everyone for the inconvenience and assuring them that the establishment was working to resolve the issue and restore its operations. He also said that the company had notified the authorities and was cooperating with them in the investigation. IT staff worked around the clock to isolate and restore the affected systems and data. They faced many challenges and difficulties, such as a large and complex network, a lack of backups, outdated software, and weak security measures. They also had to deal with the hackers' encryption and deletion methods, which made some of the data irrecoverable or unusable. They also hired external experts and consultants to assist them in the recovery process. This included cybersecurity firms, forensic analysts, and crisis management specialists. These would assist in performing a complete assessment of the damage, working to identify the vulnerabilities and implementing the needed solutions. Communicating with the relevant parties through various channels such as social media, phone calls, emails and press releases, providing updates on the situation, offering assistance and guidance, and answering questions and concerns. The company also took measures to prevent or mitigate future assaults, such as upgrading its software, strengthening its security protocols, training its staff, and conducting audits and reviews. They also joined forces with other organizations in the industry to share information and best practices on cybersecurity. The response to the attack was not flawless or smooth. They made some mistakes and faced some criticism along the way. Some were dissatisfied or unhappy with their response. Competitors and rivals took advantage of their situation, and some of their regulators and investors questioned their performance and accountability. However, the response to the attack was also not hopeless or futile. They showed some resilience and determination in dealing with the crisis. Managing to restore most of their systems and data within a week, they maintained some of their customer loyalty and workplace morale. The cyber attack on MGM Resorts in September was a major disruption for the hotel and casino giant, as well as a serious threat for the entire industry. This ultimately ended up affecting several establishment properties in Las Vegas and other cities, causing shutdowns and outages that impacted many aspects of their operations. The future of the resorts and the hotel and casino industry is uncertain and dynamic. It depends on many factors, both internal and external, that can influence their performance and resilience.
Oh, hello there, dear viewer. Still here, are we? Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this journey through the absurdities of history. If you're looking for more content like this, here's what the YouTube gods think you will want next. If you wish to support the channel further, feel free to check the description below for some useful links, and bye for now.